yeah, we ended on a high note at least. I was hoping we weren't going to end on that FFB
And
card.
then we're gonna go straight back into garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're ending lightning and moving on to our water cards. We got ourselves a 2-cost Blue Mage forward standard unit FFTA2 3K. Pay 1, is it? Yeah, pay 1, choose one forward in your opponent's break zone, remove it from the game. Blue Mage's power becomes the same as that forward's power until end of the turn. He loses his ability once per turn. I mean, it exiles cards, I guess.
Good blue mage, please, I'm begging you. Next.
This is all we're getting. Just
this
accept
is not
it.
a good card.
Why could the ability not cost 0? Anyway.
Actually, make it a
Too
mimic
powerful
and
if it
cost
got
0. If they made it a mimic and cost 0, that would have been good.
Mine, bro.
Blue Alphanod. Huh.
Yeah.
4-cost Alphanod. Forward, Sign of the 7th Dawn. 7k. When Alphanod enters the field, draw 2 cards and then discard a card. Damage 5. When Alphanod enters the field, choose one forward of cost 4 or less other than card name Alphanod on your break zone. Put it into the field. Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm ignoring Sign of Second Dawn here.
To 5 damage ever again, unless you're trying to kill them.
Yeah, holy
you have
crap.
to go, like with water decks, you have to go from 4 to 7. Otherwise, they're suddenly going to have 4 forwards in play.
Yep.
So I'm trying to remember the
Pretty
chain. I know the chain, I'm
Nice.
trying to remember it, but yeah, damn.
And also, finally, another water scion.
Yeah, but I don't think we care about that. I don't think I'm
Yeah,
just
we do.
ignoring.
Thancred, bro.
We do kind of care about that, like less so to the extent that you've got actual water scions. It's more the fact that you've got scions that are actually good to run in water.
Yeah, like it's super worth it. And as it stands,
I don't
Like-
even think it actually matters that this is a scion. You just
That's
run
what
this
I was
because it's a
saying. It
good
doesn't
card.
matter.
I mean, no, this is like
It's a good bonus, but it doesn't
It's
matter.
Alphanode as well, because like fire water, cool. Now the Alisei searches this.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Bet you forgot about that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is really, really nice, and like things that res things at insane rates. We all saw how good Mira is. Like,
Yeah.
Hold on, there is something I want to check. No. Sorry, bad idea. I was thinking Alphanod into the Oracle to die to get something else back. But no, you don't want that in your bin. That Oracle should be exiled.
yeah.
4-cost Andoria backup queen, type 0. When Andoria enters the field, choose one forward. If you control 2 or more forwards, put it at the bottom of its owner's deck.
Yawn.
Potential, just a really bad name clash.
Yeah. Okay, here's one I'm actually hyped for. 4-cost Kuchulain, EX Burst, Summon Mobius. Choose one forward at the beginning of the next main phase 1. Put it into Break Zone. You're not breaking it. You're physically picking the card up and moving it into the Break Zone. This
Alright,
is Deadpool
so-
the card.
We have a lot of clarifications to do on this card. Yes, the summon produces an auto ability. Yes, you can Amaterasu this auto ability once it hits the sack. No, it will not do 8k damage to the forward that is getting Amaterasu.
Wait, people thought that?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, alright, I apologize to the people who did think that. I didn't mean to be rude there, but okay. No, it's the source. It's the source, or the auto ability is the source of the auto ability, not the forward.
Yeah, the summon is the source of the auto ability.
Yeah, and like this is like just a super confusing card for some people, which makes sense because it's like not as. Good
Oh, it's
as
clunky.
other
It is clunky.
EX, but there's other water summons that act as removal because this is completely dead against wind.
But I just like the
Yeah.
fact that my card cannot be broken. I'm not breaking it. I'm physically picking it up and putting it in
Making
the
you
break
sack
zone.
it. Oh no, bruh. Black Tortoise Lassie Gilgamesh, what you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, it's an extremely, extremely powerful removal effect on pause.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that makes it actually pretty weak, in my opinion, is that, like, they have a chance to, like, counteract it or interact with it. You know, like as I mentioned as well, you can actually cast Amaterasu to in effect use it as a cancel summon, not just a cancel auto ability. Like it's sort of just one of those things. And like if you hit this as an EX burst, it feels horrible because at the same time, like, okay, you know, I'm on a clock to, you know, save this forward. I know, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, but I
Or
kind of
I'll Amaterasu the trigger at the next main phase, you know?
yeah, but I
You
don't
know what?
I don't mind that in in exchange for it getting around a lot of the protection stuff. Like I think that's a good trade.
And
No,
if mastery was legal, this would be like, we'd just say this
Yeah,
card's nuts
no.
because, mastery is a thing, and then we'd move on with our lives.
But even in a mastery meta, I don't know.
Well, you bounce the forward after
You'd
the
still
EX
probably
burst.
find room for it. Like,
I think this, yeah.
I feel like the best way to use this card is a main phase 2 when they want to try and pass the turn. You don't even want this as an EX burst. You want to just go snap. Okay, you've got that. You have basically you spent all your resources. Now can you try and save that forward? If not, it's going away. But at the same time, it's sort of just like, eh. Plus, in addition to that, it says choose one forward. So if the target's immune to summons, then you can't target it with Kuchulin.
yeah, and it's very unfortunate as well.
I don't know. I think this is useful. Like EX burst gets around protection. It's worth the delay. I personally think it's worth the delayed timing.
I feel like the delay is what puts it out of reach of anything. I would happily pay 5 CP for this to do it immediately.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. But
Or just 5 CP, EX, choose a forward, put it into the break zone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this might actually
that
see some
basically
play.
makes it similar to Mateus. Remember Mateus? Yeah. It basically makes it that.
Yeah, that's like at that point there'd be an announcement like if Master was legal, that would be
But yeah, like I would say this card is a lot better if it costs 1 more CP and just did it immediately. But the fact that it's on pause, it's just there's just too many ways to cleanly answer that card. I would not consider it.
But if they're spending resources to respond and adapt to a EX burst, I'm okay with that.
But don't you want your EX burst to have an immediate impact?
Well, its immediate impact is they're discarding 2 cards, bouncing a forward to avoid something. That's the impact, and I think that's valid.
But are they really spending, that extra CP?
Okay, what's the cheapest? Okay, well, let's ask this then. What's the cheapest way to dodge this then?
Chocobo.
Which, okay, so they're losing 1 backup for an EX burst.
So, yeah, you're either losing a backup or you're basically picking it up for free.
Yeah. Like you're cycling and picking it up for free, or you're cycling a backup and picking it up for free. Like in a meta where wind is going to be prevalent, this card cannot do it.
Okay, that's reasonable. Like with that example, I can kind of see it, yeah. But I don't know. I still think this is good.
And even like opposing water decks, like they're all going to be running Yuna because they're running, water summons. They can just cast the Leviathan to pick it up.
Yeah.
But see, that's good. That's paying what, 2 to adapt to an EX burst?
That's still fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think this is better than that. But okay, I haven't seen this.
Let's move.
Yep, 1 cost Quadav, monster Quadav, Mobius. When Quadav enters the field, your opponent selects 1 forward of 2 or less they control. Put it into the break. Oh, another put into the break zone. Excellent. Okay, I see now why you thought this one is like the better monster. Okay, I can see it. Wait, is that 3?
Yes.
Okay, I might change my mind here. Water 3, dull, put Quadav into the break zone, choose 1 forward opponent controls, your opponent puts it at the top or bottom of its owner's deck.
This is like the reason why this is probably the most powerful is that both of those removal conditions are pretty much unconditional.
Yeah, pretty much.
But 5.
Yeah,
it's fine.
if this
It's
cost
5
any
CP.
less, it would be nuts.
Yeah, that's no word of a lie. If that ability costs like less than 5, then well, think about how much you're spending to tell something to just tuck away, like on a
Yeah.
normal circumstance.
Is it just
Like
that I've been
Typhon-
playing? Is it just that I've been playing
Typhon's
red?
doing it at sorcery speed. Like Typhon is doing it at sorcery speed.
Titus has to be targeted by your opponent.
Titus has to be targeted by your opponent. Um,
Um,
the 6-drop
Ultim-
Leviathan is a 6-drop that only targets light or dark.
Ultimecia is a 4-cost backup that you then have to pay another 4 on top of that.
So is it just
Yeah,
because it's in
and-
water then? Because I'm thinking like for 5 you can just outright kill something, or is it just because this is a water card that's why it's good?
It's because it puts it back into deck.
Yeah, it doesn't put it into the break zone. It doesn't
It doesn't
break
like
it,
your
or
opponent
it
has
doesn't
to
do
really
like
go
power
out of
drop
their
or
way.
anything like that.
just
It is
Okay.
Like it is such a clean answer. And sure, they can choose to put it on top of their deck if they don't mind it in their damage zone.
Yeah. And you know what this does? It gives water something to deal with an opposing Leviathan.
Very true.
Because all of their removal is bounce. Okay, cool, I'm bouncing my Leviathan. I get it's busted and skill again. By the way, neg 9. This saying, nah, bot deck? Oh, you want to put it on top? Cool, I'm hitting into damage. You want to put it on bottom? Cool, you got to use a search. to get
Okay.
back.
All right. I guess I'm just not very used to water, to be honest. I don't. Actually, I should test
Also,
that.
multiplay for some reason. Like,
Because I'm just
Like,
thinking
yeah,
you kill a thing for less in other colors, but yeah. And I guess you swing, they don't respond, no blocks. You pop this to put the thing you want to get rid of, and everything on this
top of
card
the deck,
gets,
and
and everything around this on this card gets around most protection.
exactly. That's the thing that makes it the most relevant. It's just like until they have a card that says cannot be put into its owner's deck by your opponent's
Or cannot be chosen by abilities. That's the only thing that stops this.
Yeah, like this is the cleanest form of removal because it's not killing it, it's not bouncing it, it's not reducing its power, it's tucking it away.
yeah, it's massive value.
What?
Like, this card just value if everything goes right. But let's be fair, things are going to go right. Trust me.
It's blue. You're covered.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Alright. Next one we have is 2-cost Chemist, backup standard unit. Put Chemist in the break zone, draw a card, then discard a card. If you have received a point of damage this turn, draw 2, then discard 1.
This is probably the second best of this cycle.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one isn't
And it's
too bad.
still really bad.
Yeah, it's sort of tough to justify getting hit to draw 2, discard 1.
Does
Like,
this
you may as well just play Moogle.
Yeah,
does
play
this
the Moogle. I don't even have to suck the backup for it.
does this trigger the black mages?
Yes, it does.
But it's
all-
just the wrong colour.
It does. Yeah, it
Yeah.
triggers the white mage as well if you use it on your opponent's turn, so you proc draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, but like even then, it's still not worth it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, it's not worth it to the extent of holy crap.
Like,
this is bonkers.
you have better backups in Element that draw 2, ditch 1. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
oh, there's even one in this set. Like,
Yeah, like this
Like,
one I
the
thought there was a
Arsenal.
bit of potential, but the more I
Yeah,
thought
the
on it, I'm like,
Arsenal
nah,
is
it's not even
forward.
in the right system to do the stuff I want it to do.
let's just move on.
Yeah.
Like,
Do we just move on again?
Let's just move it on.
This is
Move
the
along.
just quickly. This is the Chaos Water Cycle 1. Give it a quick read. We're moving on.
yeah, it's pretty
Pause
dire.
the video at that part if you want to read it.
Draw 1, ditch 1 on an EX or on attack, man. It's dire. Oh, here we go. Actual
Ooh.
good card.
Blech. Oh, but here we go.
I thought you were saying ew to this, and I was about to slap you virtually.
No,
Feel it
no,
a
no,
good
no.
way, bros.
Remember how I kept on saying we'll get to that?
Yeah,
We
this
just
is the
got
we'll
to
get to
that.
that.
We
Three
just got to that.
Yeah. 3-cost Glaciala Wezet. Forward Valkyrie. I love Forward Valkyrie. FFBE 7k. You can pay Crystal instead of S when paying for your special abilities of category FFBE characters you control. Now everything makes sense, right, guys? When Glacial Vesta enters the field, gain a crystal. Special S Water 1, usually Crystal Water 1. Choose one forward, deal it 2k damage for each character you control. Oh, I love this card.
So she says that all your crystals are now like some sort of ultra powerful removal effect. She has a special which gets power, like which you can spend a crystal on, and she fuels her own special.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is absolutely nothing bad about this card.
And the fact that
and
her
the fact that it feeds like all of its friends, like all of the other FFBE characters, like there's a reason why you look at cards like the Lightning Samurai, and you're just like, oh, that's a nice special. It gains crystal back. But then you realize, oh, you're only spending a crystal to use the special, and it just gained that crystal back. Uh-oh.
Also,
Like, every single forward that costs 5 or less is now doomed. You think about the wind characters, you know? You've got the Black Mage, the 2-drop 5k that puts the poison counters on everything. All of a sudden, you're spending crystals to put poison counters on everything. You look at the 5-drop 9k guy that just breaks 4-cost characters as a special. Now you're spending a crystal and 1 wind CP to kill stuff. This card is bonkers.
I also want to note, its special isn't a dull, so you can go play it, make the crystal, they then go, cool, I want to stop this now, and you go, cool, I use the special.
So I feel it necessary to point out more FFBE lore here. There's a reason this set's called Rebellion's Call. It's not for FF2. Like, who cares about FF2? El Glaciella here, she's called the Spearhead of Rebellion for a very good reason. This set is all about her and her mates just herring the meta a new one. And it's, hey, 2 sets in a row where the, like, early best deck is FFBE related. First Soiree, now this. She's self-sufficient, she's cheap, hell, she's even modal. And she extends a lot of cards that would otherwise be really bad.
But at least this can't be, like, artificially turned into 5 or 6 colors. I think you need to sort of pick which side you want to play, which I think is fair.
You do want to focus specifically on 2 elements at most, but at the same time, you don't care that you're focusing specifically on 2 elements at once. You have got probably, like, this is the card of the set. Like, there is no secret on this one. The card, like, you will have to prepare for this card. You will have to prepare, like, religiously against this deck. And it's either going to be Wind Water FFBE or Water Lightning FFBE. You're going to have to prepare religiously against this deck.
I think this should have been on the cover.
Yourself.
I think this card should have been on the cover.
Pretty sure every element has at least one bonkers-ass ability that you'd want to use with Glaciella's crystals anyway.
Yeah.
So, like you have to prepare for everything at once.
So, we'll just run down the list, right? In Fire, you've got Adelard, so you can just casually 10k stuff if you want. In Ice, you've got Phasalis for the 10k and discard.
Yep.
I've already spoken about Wind.
Yeah, that's got
Earth. Yeah.
Earth, you got Kitone.
Yeah, you got Kitone and Earth, which is really funny because you just go, oh, Crystal,
Earth,
and now Earth.
Yeah.
So things are going away. In Lightning, you've got if you're playing multi-element, you've also got Lid.
And Kunshira.
Yeah, Kunshira as well, if you want to have some real fun with it. If you want to be really silly, you've also got Schutzeld, just to go, break a damage forward because I can. And then in Water, you've got Glaciella herself and a couple of other guys that we will get to. But this is the centerpiece. This is going to be the centerpiece of at least the first half of the meta, and if you do not prepare for it, you will lose.
Yep.
And it doesn't break Soiree. It's a separate thing entirely, just shares the game.
Yeah, just FFBA, because it's all separate.
So that's... Thank you for that.
Unfortunately, no Soiree have special abilities.
Yeah.
Nah, give it a couple of sets.
Give it a couple of sets, then we'll just have this really sweet... Oh, sorry, I forgot. In Earth, you've got Leonis.
Oh yeah, Monty, on attack, deal 9k to 2 forms. Pay a crystal. It's fine.
No, this is the card. When this was spoiled, I think everyone lost their minds. This is
very good. Everybody started searching for what category FFBE characters have specials, without realizing that there's an entire set of FFBE characters that have very powerful special abilities. You know.
And I opened a foil of her today.
Very good.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. But no,
so I think we've hyped the hell out of this card enough.
Yeah.
No,
now
we
let's
haven't.
just-
Not yet. There is still more to come.
Oh, no. We've gone the highest of highs.
Wait till we get
Now
to
we
the
just have to
last few
discuss.
cards.
Into the mediocrest of mediocres.
He knows he should be hiding his face. That's why he did his hair
Following
like
the
that.
dizzying highs.
3 cost Kurilla, forward knight, 7k. If you control a water forward other than Kurilla, Kurilla gets plus 1k power. If you control a job knight forward other than Kurilla, Kurilla gets plus 1k power. I like knights and I don't even know how I feel about this.
We're
So,
back to
I feel
bad
like-
technology.
So I feel like this is basically like that meme where you've got the kid, like you got the mother in the pool holding up the small
Oh,
child. It's just like
This
you
was
know,
a- this is the
that's
drowning
this
one.
Is us with Glaciella, and then right beside us is Kurilla that's drowning.
Yeah.
No. Kurilla's the skeleton in the on the sea.
Okay, so what's drowning?
What's drowning? That would be
The
El,
job
uh,
knights. The name knights, the non-job, the standard unit knights.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
No, Gosetsu. There you go.
So Setsu is drowning.
Yeah, Gosetsu is drowning and Kurilla's just bottom of the ocean. Anyway.
3 cost Marquise the Phantasm, forward dual horn / ninja, FFTA 2 7k. The opponent's forwards enter the field dull. If you control a card name, at least the Ensorild, Marquise the
Sorcerer.
Phantasm gets plus 2k power. When Marquise the Phantasm enters the field, you may choose one job dual horn in your break zone. You may pay X. If its cost is X, play it onto the field.
There's your ninja.
I like the 4 opponent's forwards enter dull, but have we had one of these cards that has that on it do anything?
Yes, it's called Prometheus, and it came out in Opus 1.
So,
Yeah, but
Here's
I
why-
haven't seen it since.
well, here's my thought process on like this specific card, right? Do you remember back in Opus 1 where we had the Cecil, which was the 5-drop heat magnet, right?
Yeah.
And then in Opus 13, we got the Charlotte, which was a 2-drop heat magnet, and we immediately decided it was so much better because it cost less.
This is
And-
kind of the same deal.
It's exactly the same deal, and the same with like the Opus 1 Kuja. Like you target it, your opponent discards a card,
Now we have
and now-
Agrius.
and now you got Agrius, which is the same thing but on a 2-drop. This is basically like a cost-reduced Ultimecia, which has like better text. Plus, being a 3-drop means I can have some fun with it with my Golbers deck. But
And also,
Gentiana's also a 3-drop, which is even funnier.
Gentianopos, that's hilarious.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
So
plus
fire.
they're both
So this
3-drops,
this
so,
might
you
be
know.
the one that succeeds with that ability in fire ice potentially, or just, water ice, or just in mono water. Because I want this to work. I want this to work, but every time I've gotten excited over opponents' forwards enter dull, I've then been sad a few weeks later.
I'm playing this in ninjas, bro. It's fine. Make it a 2 cost.
So the one time I
Actually, that's
didn't
true.
get
You can play
excited
with
is the one
ninjas.
time it works. Great, excellent. Thank
Yeah.
you, Square
Or, no,
Enix.
so, and also, I just want to point out, we're singing all the praises for Maki here. And the other dual horns are just so bad. Like, you're not
Yeah,
using
I
dual
looked up.
horns
I opened an Alice and I just was about to rip it because I'm like, this does nothing.
Yeah.
It's not even an evoker. It literally reads as "I am a blank card. You opened nothing."
Unless you can activate it every turn, but the problem is you're spending a resource activating a card every turn, whether or not it's a free auto ability from Ash or something that says beginning of combat activate blah.
Yeah,
And even then, Ash is bad now. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Exactly.
It's just, and at least it's searchable. I'll give him that much.
oh, I didn't know it was so. Oh,
Yeah, set a claim, darling.
yes.
Yeah. You
That's
get
in
your
Lightning,
sweet
though,
dual
isn't
horse
it?
With that.
Yeah.
But
But-
yeah,
but-
I think the strongest gameplay is actually like as a ninja, because then you can just chuck it in ninjas and go, ha! Now your forwards are entering dull, and all of mine have haste.
But it's
Yeah,
off
I hate
color
that.
for it
Swing.
though. Like being water then is just painful. I think for ninjas.
Not really.
Really?
Edge says you can pay with any element CP.
Yeah, it's just
Oh, does
bad
it?
element.
Okay, that I
Right.
didn't know.
If you don't
Okay.
draw the edge, you're running Izayoi anyway, so like...
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's feasible, it's feasible. I didn't think it was that much. It was that good. But
It's
alright.
feasible.
Okay, I'll actually have hope this time after being, beaten up so many times.
Also, it's been pointed out, but the D in Alistair and Salt is not italic, and that's going to trigger a lot of people.
Yeah, it's funny.
Wait, the what?
The D at the end of the card
Alice,
name Alice the Ensorcel is not italic like the rest of the
Oh, why'd you tell me that? Oh, why? I was living happy in ignorance.
Welcome.
And then just Kool-Aid Man through the fucking wall and stabs this card in my face.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Let's move on.
Shit card. I'm back to my original thought. 2-cost Gordon. That is a Gordon face. Backup Prince. Okay, that's also a Prince face. When Gordon enters the field, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. When Gordon enters the field, you may pay water. When you do so, draw 1 card.
Sounds good.
Searchable with Sarah as well.
Yeah, this is
Exactly. So this is like the immediate replacement in mono element for Inga Concordia. Yeah.
You get back in my folder, boy. I got the new gun in here.
Yeah, because you go turn 1 Sarah into this, discard to play this, tapping the Sarah for the extra 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draw 2, discard 1. Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Cost, draw 2 ditch 1. Doesn't have to burst like Merwood, but hey,
Yeah.
more than makes up for it.
Yeah. See, I think this is really been a very interesting tale for the Pink Logica cards because it's like amazing trash, amazing trash, amazing trash, amazing trash. You know. Now we're up to the amazing stage, so the next Pink Logica card we see is going to be complete garbage.
No. We're gonna see a light one that's trash and then a dark one that's good.
If we get light and dark Pink Logica cards, I'll lose my mind.
I know. I kind of want it now. Like, it's absolutely a stupid idea, but I kind of really want it. I didn't know I wanted it until I realized.
Nah, give me that sweet fear truth of light and dark.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for them to just give up and make a hybrid light-dark card and just go have fun.
That'd make a lot of people cry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know flavor weight's impossible, but yeah. 5 costs Zazan. I kind of like that art. FFBE Forward Warrior. 9k. If Cezanne is dealt damage less than his power, the damage becomes 0 instead. This kind of feels like the Meh Lightning one.
Yeah, so much like Liat, he's a low rarity unit, so it's kind of in his nature to be bad.
Yeah.
They call him Zazan the Immortal. Makes sense.
You can't die if you're never in the deck.
Playing.
You can't die if you're never in the deck.
Yep. Although,
look at that sweet internal Minwu effect though. Oh god.
I mean, I will admit, being a Vanguard player, the name Zazan gives me PTSD. But I don't.
I kind of want to have that picture of like Minwu riding on his back now. I bring my own Minwu where I go. 2 cost Elise.
Keep a nice little Minwu in my back pocket for whatever.
Oh god, that's even better. It's like in his front pocket on his chest. There's a little Minwu sticking out now. Oh god, I can't afford to get this done. I gotta stop now. 2 cost Elise the Ensorcelent. Forward Dullhorn Summoner FFTA2. Sorry. Ensorcel. I can't pronounce it even if I know what it is.
That was the Ensorcel.
Ensorcelled. There. Elise enters the field dull. Elise does not activate during your active phase. If you control a card named Marquise, Elise gains 2k power. When Elise attacks, your opponent selects 1 forward they control, puts it into the break zone. 7k forward. It's a blank card. I see nothing but white.
So, there is actually one particularly important piece of text on that card, and it is the job Summoner.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's it. It's the only relevant piece of text on the card.
But why would you search for a blank card?
Why not?
Okay, sorry. I am incorrect. This reads one thing on it that I see that's relevant. Discard me for 2 water.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, it's also a summoner for summoner-like effects, so, hi BFA, how you doing? But, whatever. Yeah.
Sorry, I refuse.
You need to jump through hoops to make her work.
Yeah. All I see written on this is discard me for 2 water. I'm stuck on that. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Great.
And if you do, congrats, you've built a broken deck.
Yeah, definitely fair.
2 cost. Yeah, 2-cost white mage, backup standard unit. I think this is the one that if it's a water of 3 or less, play it onto the field. Yep.
And
so
this
it's
is the
part of
worst
cycle.
one because we already have this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got this card twice now.
You're
Well,
the
it's
first
saying-
apple I
it's
didn't
saying-
want.
It's saying that, it's kind of funky because you can just, bring your Vikings back again, but we already had Gladiator that did that, so if you're
Yeah.
looking for a focused and dedicated standard unit deck,
If you
I don't know, maybe
really,
you can
really,
run the white
really
mage.
want to bring those Vikings back.
oh
But,
yeah,
like-
you really want those Vikings to come back.
Yeah,
There's a
like,
lot of
look,
card
look,
draw,
Look, if you bring back enough Vikings that you win games consistently, do it.
Yeah, and but I will give it this much. We do have a decent target for it in the form of Elme Sleepy Boy, but again, we already have Gladiator. So what's the point?
To do it
I like
6
Cat
times
5.
instead of 3. Like, that's literally the only thing I see. You do it 6 times instead of 3, but I feel
Again,
that's still too many.
It's at least Cat 5. You can search it with Sildra.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, you can already search it with Sildra because it's a water card.
Yeah, but now you can really search it with Sildra.
In case you really, really.
Problem
really
is it's a
find
2
that
cost,
card
like
in
the
your
worst
When
one.
you get that Mycosynth Lattice. Then you'll see.
Like, it's
All
but
cards
it's
are
a 2
dark.
cost on Sildra, which is the worst one.
Oh god, can you imagine a card that basically says all your opponent's characters are dark?
Yep.
No, it would be like all the backups are light, all the forwards are dark, or something like that.
Alright.
So I haven't seen this, but it says Princess Sarah, so I'm assuming I'm just not gonna like it by default because we have the best one.
Yeah, this one is bad.
1 cost Princess Sarah, forward Princess. Princess Sarah cannot attack or block. When 7k power, when Princess Sarah is chosen by summons or abilities, you may draw a card. This effect will trigger only during your opponent's turn and only once per turn. Can I cactar her to just keep drawing cards once every opponent's turn?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So
Even better, bro. So since this is Princess Sarah, means you're not running the light one. Means you have room for Kadaj. Every end phase. Oh, dull her. Cool. Draw 1.
Oh my god, I love it. I hate that I love it.
like there
Well,
is a
Princess
way
Sarah
to
doesn't clash with
potentially-
Kadaj anyway, though, does it?
What
What's
do you
that?
mean?
Princess Sarah doesn't clash with Kadaj, though, does it?
She's light.
No,
Yeah,
she's
but
not.
she turns into a different element, so it doesn't matter.
That's
Yeah,
why you
but
run her
also,
with other
You're not playing
cards.
light backup, which means you're not you don't have to worry about I want Kadaj to resolve before or anything else.
Yeah, fair, but I didn't think she... I was thinking, wait, she doesn't clash. I was playing Mastery with her all the time. Did I cheat? But
No.
I just like the idea of doing some shitty thing to this on your opponent's turn just to draw a card for no purpose.
And your opponent really doesn't want to target it during their turn.
Like, is there some way to,
Oh,
like...
it gets even better when you cast Kuchel the Impure on it. Then you
Yeah.
draw 2 cards and it can block.
Yeah, bro. Very good.
Get him.
So this just reads princess
this
meme.
Is a garbage card.
This
but
is
at least-
princess meme.
Like, there is probably some way to break this card, and somebody will probably find that way to break this card. However,
Please
as
do.
it stands, the card is
Oh,
absolute manure.
No. I see one good thing about it. It can be tutored by Sarah.
Yeah, tutored by Sarah.
That's
Sorry,
about the
I
only
had
thing
to.
that's relevant. So your water backup could tutor a 1-cost water forward.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to say it.
Get him.
How do I... Cool. Oh, God, the names with this set. 3 cost, Frimelda. FFTA2, forward Sword Saint. Oh, that's interesting. 7k. Damage 3, EX Burst. When Frimelda enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls, it loses 7k power until end of turn. I actually like that. Frimelda gets damage 5, Frimelda gets plus 1k power, and when Frimelda attacks, choose one character opponent controls. Put it into the breaks. Wait,
No,
what?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can only see a blank card.
I like this.
So
Why is it-
here's the thing, right? It's got an amazing series of text blocks at damage 5.
Yeah, it's completely vanilla until then.
At damage 1 or 2, then this is just
Useless.
basically-
Yeah.
It's a knight. It's a knight. It's worse than a black belt. before damage 3.
I'm trying to
If
think
you're
like
at a point in the time where you're trying to play this card as a card at damage 3, and you're trying to do stuff with it, then
Why not just play an Agrius?
yeah, just play the Agrius, and because you'll have the Avelia down anyway, right?
yeah, I
Draw a card and neg 7,
Yeah,
and it's a bigger body.
And okay, so you know why this card exists? This is the monkey sport. Everyone really wanted a Sword Saint.
Yeah, that's true. They wanted a new Sword Saint. Too bad it's a from Elder.
Yeah, too bad it's from Elder.
I don't know why I really want to make this
and
work.
This is the wrong element.
I don't know why I really want to make this work. You're right.
Like, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of, like, self-inflicted, deal damage to self, this is suddenly good sort of deck. But that probably exists. I still don't think this card goes in it, because...
How is the FFTA 2
it's just
water?
one of those things where if you're at damage 5, and now at that point you're playing this card and it's like doing the powerful
Well,
things.
no, it's not ETB. It's activated. When you hit the damage 5 and attack with it, it's a field ability. Only the first one is the enter.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it. You play it after damage 3, and if you happen to get to 5, then it's online.
You know what? No, this should have been an AK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
That
this
would have
was
made a big
AK
difference.
Base, I would see this being, better. But as it stands, no.
But I digress. Let us move on swiftly from this card.
I think it's a good card with no home. That's what I'm thinking of it.
See, this is going to be my opinion on the entire water element. So, it basically, what R&D did is they said, we're going to make the most powerful card in the set, and it's going to be this element, and it's going to be absolutely amazing and ridiculously powerful and bonkers.
And the color gets nothing else.
But to do that, we're going to have to sacrifice the rest of the water element.
Yep. And speaking of sacrificing the water element...
Oh, another traitorous FFBE. For Miranda, forward red mage 8k, special water, choose one forward, deal it 3k damage for each card in your hand. Ugh.
Man, speaking of wank...
I wouldn't even pay a crystal for that.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, this is still probably the best of all of the FFBE black belts that we've seen, purely because it pairs with Glaciella.
And even then, it is...
But I would argue it doesn't. I don't even accept that special. Like, maybe in a Viking deck with, the backup so you could do it 6 times. But...
Yeah, I don't
know.
I don't.
Like, just run the 2-cost Zidane.
Low rarity unit too.
Like, just run the 2-cost Water Zidane.
Yeah, Solution 9, so much better.
Yeah. Alright. 5-cost Minwu, the card on the box. Forward White Mage Mobius, 8k. Before paying the cost to cast Minwu, you can remove 3 summons, each of different element in your break zone from the game to reduce the cost required to cast Minwu by 3. 0. Choose one ability that is chosen by a forward you control. Cancel its effects. You only use this ability once per turn. I think if I remember our discussion, I liked this card, but it needed to be like 1 cost less.
I want to like this card. I do.
I do like this card, but I understand that it doesn't work the way I want it to.
I so desperately want to like this card, but I just can't. Like, being able to cancel any ability that's choosing a forward you control, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, how much AoE stuff is there in the game right now?
Also, Jack, the 5-cost water that does... It's a special, yes, but...
But it does it to the entire stack.
Yeah. Maybe if it was 3 summons of different cost, not different element?
Like, the good thing about this is that it's a 5-drop AK that doesn't die to Amaterasu. That's probably the best that I can still, that's probably the best that compliment that I can give the card. And yes, the action ability to just cancel something is just, it is really powerful, don't get me wrong. And we've always got to pay attention to 0-cost action abilities because, generally speaking, they are very powerful.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to justify this when you need to be targeted for it, and there's just so much stuff that doesn't target you.
Also, I feel this says I'm mono water while then saying no, I'm not mono water. And it kind of feels like it's eating itself with that.
It's
You know,
it's so hard to justify the card.
So, I'd like to give my piece. This is a card that I initially wasn't super hot on. Like, I thought it was like, yeah, it was pretty cool. Then I saw even more breakzone removal, and now I'm even less hot on it than I was initially.
Yeah.
I reckon this was like everything that you just said. It was all of that, and then it was a 9k, and then they decided, right, no, cannot.
We already have one good water card. We can't give them two.
Yeah. I mean, this probably just goes in the Rydia twins. And that's it. Even then, it's a bit of an ask.
Yeah, it's a hard ask to put
Yeah.
them in that deck.
Maybe
We talked
just
a lot about Fire being good. Fire just says, oh, you do that? Cool. Bahamut.
like maybe
There goes all
a
your hard
one of.
Yeah.
Maybe a one of.
I just find it super hard to justify it at all, to be honest. Like, it's, as I said, I want to like the card. Like,
It's almost
zero-cost
there.
action abilities are amazingly powerful 9 times out of 10, and this is no exception. It's just, I don't like the body.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think the problem is it's
Too
like
fragile.
it's almost there, and I'm hoping something outside pushes it over that line. But until I see that, it's still behind the line, even if it's by an inch.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, maybe something will put this there, but right now, it's just like, it's so close, but not close enough.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's ever so close to being, like, amazingly powerful, but just so far away.
Like, stumbled on the way or something.
Yeah, it's like, it tripped over its own shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of really like this art. 3 cost Mog 6. Forward Warrior / Moogle. Oh, I like that dueling. 4k. When Moogle 6 enters the field, draw a card. Put Moogle 6 into the break zone during this turn. Your opponent cannot search. I like this. I don't know why I like this.
This is another one of those really cute abilities where it's just like, oh, I'm going to use Tyro. No.
No.
Go ahead.
And then if you deal a point of damage to them, and they're like, oh, I want a Tyro. Well, no, you can't search for the turn.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
do like that, you know, worst case scenario, they go to kill it, you sack it in response.
No. You play against Soiree, you sack this swing. I hit Amber, cool. Swing. I hit another Amber, cool.
Problem is, you have to do it before the X bursts.
Yeah, you're gonna do it anyway. Like, they're gonna hit Elvis if you don't. Like, let's be fair.
Yeah.
Let's be real for 30 seconds. Like, they're always going to hit the card that you don't want them to hit.
But yeah, I like it, but do you think it will see a slot? Like, legitimately?
No. Like, I'm playing this as a one-off alongside the Legend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I was thinking of it, but I'm like, am I wrong? Should I be running 3? Is this...
No, it's like, it's just that not many decks search more than once in a turn anyway.
Yeah. And sacking
Unless,
a
of course,
3 cost to deny them
They've
2...
got a bunch of search bursts and you do this beforehand and then, like, yeah. Still not. Then you just do it and then, oh, I hit nothing?
The only thing I could think of for this was the Water Gilgamesh. Swing, bring this back, sack it at their turn. Swing, bring this back, sack it on their turn.
Gilgamesh only gets 2 costs.
Is it? I thought it was 3 costs or less.
Gilgamesh 11 is only 2 costs.
Ah, crap. There goes my game plan.
Yeah, but it's at the same time, though, like, it is... That's why I say it's cute, because, you know, it's technically 1 CP 4k, and then you can sack it to say that they can't search. So it does cute stuff. It's category 6 as well, if that's relevant at all, but...
Yeah.
I think it should have been a 2 cost.
I think it was 2 costs. Oh, no.
Yeah, I want I wanted to infinitely recur this.
So make it free.
Too disgusting at 2 cost.
I know, but that's kind of why I wanted it like that. I wanted to infinitely recur it with freaking Gilgamesh and sack it at the start of my opponent's turn. I just wanted one thing.
Oh, brace it from this.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of graveyard removal, so I felt it would have been fair then.
Yeah.
Our next card is 4 cost Ramada. Forward Lancer FFBE 7k. When Ramada enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls, return to its owner's hand, gain a crystal. Special S. until end of turn, Ramada gains plus 2k power haste, and if Ramada deals damage to your opponent, the damage becomes 2. Ooh.
So this is the thing that you pair in water with the Glaciella.
Because you immediately give it haste and it does double damage.
Yes.
Yeah. Bounce forward, smack.
And yeah, it also self-sustains the Glaciella because you could just go, oh, I'll spend a crystal that you just gained for me to give you the haste.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to seem weird. I like the card a lot, but I know once I start playing with it, I'm going to hate it.
Because you're not going to get it off as much as you think you are, and it's going to frustrate you, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Like, I love this, but it's not going to work the way I want it to work 80% of the time, and it's just going to piss me off.
Yeah, but at least,
Yeah,
like,
most of the time I'd probably agree with that. But
I'm
at
getting
the same time,
it's like super cool.
When
Yeah,
it works,
like-
it's hilarious.
it's saying that as well. ETB bounce gain a crystal is still
Still
pretty
good,
huge.
yeah.
Decent base rate. That's probably
And
why
you
it's
can
a
still-
7K.
Yeah, and you can still pair it with the Leviathan to neg 9 something else.
Well, Trust a draw card.
And that
Can't
too.
any more
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah.
Also, like, you...
Octopus life, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yes. Also, like, playing it, make the crystal to use something else's special after bouncing something. Like, you don't have to use it on her.
Yeah. It just helps to use it on her because then you get the 2 damage in straight away.
Yeah, well, you still can get the 2 damage in later. Because you could also just wait a turn, swing, do you have priority, choose not to block, I pay a crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works either side. Like, the haste is cool because of the bounce, so you're removing a blocker, gaining an attacker. But technically, you don't mind just waiting and swinging in and seeing if they do nothing, then using the crystal.
Yeah, it's just
So,
like the big
versatility.
concern though is that like Glaciella is the world's largest heat magnet, so
Yeah.
you kind of want to just use it straight away.
Yeah, pretty much. At the very least, if this is in the same color as Glaciella, so you're playing at least one.
I'd probably go for 2, maybe
I'd go for
3.
Yeah.
Because even pitching one, like even pitching a card for the special is fine.
Because you may not have Glacia... Glacia?
Glaciella.
Yeah, Glaciella. You might not have Glaciella out, so having 3 to do the special on your terms, because it's, I think is decent.
Yeah, you still want that.
But again, that's just my feeling on.
Plus, also, they're probably going to be killing this, so you do want to be able to play it again.
I mean, if they're killing this, they're not killing Glaciella, so that's a win for you.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't have Glaciella out, you have this. They probably will focus on this.
Maybe.
No, I think they'll actually wait their removal until they see the Glaciella because the moment you start playing FFBE forwards, they're gonna expect it and then they're going to want to kill it.
Well,
Yeah, but I'm swinging with this. But I'm
that's beside the point.
but I'm swinging with this, threatening the special.
But like, if it just came in, then well, you can't really just swing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
2 cost, Rusan Riva, forward standard unit type O. Is this a forward? It is a forward, 5k. When Russo enters the field, pay 1 water, 1 generic. When you do so, choose 1 forward opponent controls. It loses 5k power until end of turn. Damage 3, Rusan gets plus 2k power, and when Rusan Reeves attacks, choose 1 forward opponent controls. It loses 2k power until end of turn.
this card does not exist.
Isn't it?
This
This
is,
feels like very
like, this
late.
is very,
This feels.
very clearly like the worst of the cycle. Even Dance is better than it.
I
Go
feel
look
like
at-
this is
go
just
look at
very
Red Knight
late.
And go look at this. Like, okay, all right, I actually have a like a thing for this. So, WCW, 1996. You got the Dungeon of Doom. They're all hot dogging on the stage. You got Jimmy Hart and Lex Luger going, "Yeah, look at us, we're so cool." And then out comes Sergeant Craig Pittman. He's like, "Yeah, let me into the Dungeon of Doom. I'm a baddie as well." And Jimmy Hart's like, oh, "Okay, yeah, take off your shirt." And he takes off his shirt. He's a pretty beefy dude, pretty ripped. And they said, "Okay, cool." Now look at Lex. Lex Luger's jacked, bodybuilder physique. Red Mage is Lex Luger. This is Sergeant Craig Pittman.
Yeah.
No one's gonna get that. Why leave a bomb?
I'm trying to sort of understand that because I'm also a wrestling fan, but I'm more thinking like when you put say like Batista beside Big Dick Johnson.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, that's what I was going. That's what I was gonna say. Like, why did you go to the long way around? We got an easier one.
No, I have to get my love for Lex Luger, and he's cool.
No, I
Too bad
like
he
Lex.
dropped like all of his muscle weight.
Yeah, too bad. Too bad for that. Well.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that wrestling is
Yeah,
not the
card's
best
bad,
health-wise
let's just-
environment.
Anyway, moving on. This
Yeah.
card sucks, and it's the worst of the hero cycle of standard units.
Yeah, and it's like
by
a
far.
million years too late. Water hasn't done that trick for like eons. So we've just ended with water. We're moving on to light and dark. I believe is it 2 or 4 in this one?